distant from one another, almost like you could say mooring points. And the surrounding terrain looks like bush or trees photographed from above. I'll show you examples of those in a moment. So this lake is about 1 kilometer in length. So you can see there's also these root-like tentacles growing into what might be the water. And the plants around here have got the same sort of tentacle type of look to it, like a tree photographed from above without the leaves. And then note those smaller objects in a row on the shoreline about 25 meters apart. I don't know what those could be.
Yeah.
The resolution of this photograph is about 1 meter to 2.5 meters per pixel.
Yeah.
So you can't make out too much detail, but the way these have been arranged, to me, is also highly unnatural.
We do know that Mars has a lot of frozen lakes. There's a lot of microbial life in them. There's a lot of water on Mars. We know that, you know. You know, there could be so much history captured in those frozen lakes and so much, you know, underground. If you think about cities on Earth, like we're constantly building new cities on top of old cities. Is what we're doing, right?
Yes, you see that in South America.
Yeah. And
where they
so,
build on top of old structures, yes.
Exactly, and I think we're gonna find similar things when we get to these frozen lakes and oceans underground, and we're gonna find a lot of history.
I reckon it's possible. Look, our oceans on Earth are largely unexplored. We don't know what's in the deepest depths of the ocean. I mean, you get these USOs and UAPs, these craft that just seamlessly go from traveling in the atmosphere down into the water without slowing down, with impunity, and then coming up out of the water again as if nothing went wrong. If you did that with an aircraft, it would break up. Literally, man, and it will slow down. These things just enter the water, gone. So maybe these things come from under the oceans, who knows? But yeah, we're looking at those tree-like anomalies that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And they're 600 meters wide. I've seen the equivalent photographs of this site of high-rise that have photographed these same anomalies. These were photographed at a low resolution a long time ago by the Mars Global Surveyor, not the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. And it appears this might be seasonal because the high-rise photographs show just the sort of branch-like, they call them spiders. But in this photograph, you can see what looks like foliage. It's actually even casting shadows around it. It's like it's got leaves and stuff. But the newer high-rise photographs don't show that. So we speculate this is plant life and it's seasonal. It will grow leaves at some point in the year, and then at other points you only see the outlines. There's another one consisting of 3 grouped together and also approximately 600 meters wide. So these could be trees or they could be shrubs or bushes growing on the surface.
Yeah.
But we know the gravity on Mars is a bit less than on Earth, so these could be quite tall. And here I'm showing a photograph of trees photographed from above on Earth, and it shows the same sort of branch-like fractal patterns with the foliage. And if you compare the two, you can see the similarity.
Yeah, I mean that's like you don't really need any more evidence than that. It's
Hmm.
just right there, you know.
Yeah. And according to NASA, this is venting, I think CO2 venting onto the
Yeah,
surface. But
yeah,
that to me looks more like a type of a plant growing on Mars.
yeah,
In my opinion, we could be wrong, but the
yeah.
similarity is undeniable.
We just need to heat Mars a bit more, and then boom, you can see life accelerate in these frozen oceans,
Yes,
lakes, and rivers
yes. I
like
mean,
crazy.
Elon suggested a while ago to detonate nuclear bombs on the planet at the
Yeah,
poles to melt the ice.
yeah,
I don't know if that's such a good idea, though. We could destroy some type of life form there, and I don't think we want to do that.
yeah. Or you can have you can replicate nuclear fusion technology that you can create nuclear fusion technology that replicates the sun is what I want to say,
Yes,
and you can deploy them in the orbit of Mars
yes.
that can act as sun and heat up the planet and control the temperature and keep it consistent and sustainable over thousands of years, and then that will
Mm.
naturally just get it all bubbling and warming up and going. And yeah, I guess with Elon's idea of using nuclear weapons to do it is, yes, you are going to cause a lot of damage and destroy
Mm.
certain things, and but you can also do it in ways that yes, there's going to be some damage, but you can minimize that damage, and the return is much more greater. You're accelerating the warming up of Mars much more faster.
Yes, the biosphere. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, so there's
It's an
different ways you
idea.
can do it. Yeah,
I read an article a year or two ago about aerogel. It's this gel that they've developed that doesn't weigh much, doesn't take up much space. You can take it to Mars. You can then spread this gel out into thin panels. Then they become foam. And apparently, this foam protects you from the sun's radiation, but it also traps heat. And they say you can build domes with these things. And if you build on the equator of Mars, you don't even need artificial heating inside these domes. The sun will heat these environments up inside to an extent where you can actually grow plants and you can survive. It's called aerogel. I don't know if you're familiar with that material. It doesn't weigh much, and you can take it all there and make these panels of foam. It's an alternative to living underground in those lava tubes.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, that's another interesting material that could be used. So yeah, Adnan, we're looking at a strange disc-shaped anomaly photographed basically from an angle from the side. It's not a top-down view. And it shows this disc nestled there on the side of a ridge, consisting of these strange dunes, if you could call them dunes. I don't know what they are. They look more like vines with these two dark windows. And this thing is 110 meters across. And my friend Thomas Mikey Jensen did some research on this, because NASA said, no, man, this is an artifact of the photograph. But he found a photograph of this site taken a year later, and that thing is still there. So whatever this thing is, it looks like a disc with these two dark windows on the side. Could that there be sort of like a base, like a huge building that's covered in sand? We're only seeing the top. Or could that be an observation outpost looking out over this huge valley? But that thing doesn't look like a regular dune.
Yeah.
This thing's been around for decades. People have been talking about this thing for a long time. And I don't know, to me, every time I see it, I see the Jupiter 2 from that series. Remember Jupiter 2, that UFO that they used to travel around in? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually called the Jupiter 2 anomaly. But
Yeah,
I thought I'd throw
it
that
looks
one
like a
in. It's
UFO
quite
to me.
interesting.
It looks like a wreckage of a UFO that's crashed on Mars. It's what I see.
Mm, mm. It could be a craft. It could be an outpost. It
Mm.
could be the top of a building.
Yeah.
I would love to go and walk around this thing and
Yeah,
see what it is.
that'd be fun.
Yes.
So many images of Mars and so many different things. It's crazy.
Here's one of those caves
Yeah.
on the side of a mound. And yeah, we're looking at a huge opening on the side of a mound, about 820 meters wide, and a smaller opening next to it. And then directly opposite the opening is this darker material on the surface that seems to be ejected out of this opening. Now, we can speculate, could this mound be a structure that's covered over in sand? And this there is the opening to one of these underground bases, for example. And this is venting that's blowing the lighter material on the surface away, exposing the darker material underneath.
Mm.
So there's a closer look at that opening. It's huge. Can you imagine standing there?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow. It'll take you like half an hour to walk from one side to the other.
yeah. Yeah.
Maybe not that long, but yeah, I mean, it's huge.
Mars also has thousands of caves. We know that from volcanic activity. Mars now, I think recently we've discovered that it has water based caves. The caves have been created from thousands of years of water flowing through. We know that Mars has thousands and thousands of openings as well. Um, and so that's also another interesting thing about Mars is you have lots of openings to the underworld, you know?
Yes, and a couple of years ago, near Olympus Mons, that huge volcano on Mars, extinct volcano, there's a pit that was ejecting this smoke-like material, but huge amounts of it for an extended period of time. And people were actually contemplating that could have been some type of terraforming effort.
Yeah.
Because Mars's volcanoes are long extinct. So if it wasn't a volcano, what was causing that venting?
Yeah.
And that was hundreds of kilometers long, that cloud that was being vented out of this pit. And it extended for a long time. It was there for a couple of weeks, if I can recall correctly. I was monitoring it.
Yeah.
I actually suggested they might be right, that it might be trying to terraform. I don't know.
Mm.
Then we looking at a rover Curiosity photograph, and it shows what looks like a bamboo stick lying up against a boulder. If you take a close look, you can see there might be segments on this stick. That's why I say I compare it to bamboo. But